Juego Todo, a term FMA practitioners would use to refer to old-school dueling events participated in by the late grandmasters where back in the day, as they said, anything goes. But a new combat sports league has borrowed this term and given the modern-day organizadors a venue to showcase their skills and talents, but this time in an octagon.
Hawakan ng armas, ihanda ang kalasag, tara nang magwego todo. Wego todo. Sabukan na tawan, saksakan, wasakan, tara nang magwego todo. Wego todo.
This is Ferdinand Munsayac, also known in the fight industry as Papa Goat. And he has an advocacy to help evolve the combat sports scene for Filipino martial artists.
Nakafocus siya sa FMA Gear. Put them on a pedestal. Pag FMA Gear ka, you deserve all this.
Now this Juego Todo League is something I've been keeping my eye on since it first came out. To me, there was an appeal for it being something new and different compared to the usual combat sport formats that are offered in the FMA community, many of which I participated in. But it's also in this difference that it has garnered quite some skepticism and criticism from the FMA community.
Binabastos ang arnis. Hindi dapat ganyan. Dapat ganito, dapat ganon.
So I sat down with the founder of Juego Todo to learn more about what this sport is. I wanted to know what his visions are and what we can expect from Juego Todo in the years to come.
I call Juego Todo the evolution of FMA. The evolution because you know how arnis is actually being done. You know, the tournaments are conducted on the mat and then fully padded. And I found it boring kasi nga, once these guys fight, they're off the mat. The referee would have to call it off, bring them to the middle to reset the game. Okay? And then also, when these guys fight, since they're fully armored, they have the protection, you will be impressed on how fast, you know, lightning speed, the sticks fly from, you know, the head, you know, 2 hits to the head, left and right. Next thing you know, it hits the top, the sides, the bottom, everything. Very impressive. Pero kulang. So, what did I do? I brought the modern-day Mandirigma, who are the arnisadors, and put them inside the modern-day arena, which is the octagon MMA cage. It starts off with the sticks, doble baston, with the knees, and the kicks, and the sweeps, and the locks. And then on the second round, they go solo baston, it frees off one limb. And then now here you have the dirty boxing. You have elbows combined with the knees, the kicks, the takedowns, the sweeps, and the locks. Okay, on the third round, the headgear comes off. And then you go mano-y-mano. So you have the panuntukan, sikaran, yaoyan, dumog, buno, and whatever else is out there as far as FMA is concerned. The game has to evolve. And this is where I got all kinds of criticism in the very beginning. Kasi, of course, nobody really likes changes eh. People have a hard time adapting to changes. Sanay na sila sa ganito. So all along, for so many years or maybe centuries, ganito na yan. And then all of a sudden, the new guy comes in, changes things around, rearranges things, and like, oh, don't do that. I don't like that. We're not used to that. So ganon yun nangyari. So, but anyways, that really didn't stop me. Because when I first started and thought about this, that was 2014. And then 2019, 5 years later, I was able to deliver the promise that I had when I first opened my mouth about the Juego Todo Grand Championship back in 2014. I was able to deliver it 5 years later, you know, with a house and lot, brand new house and lot, the motorcycle, brand new motorcycle, the 50,000 kabuhayan package for the missus ni fighter, and then 20,000 cash, just pocket money, just to walk out of that arena that night, you know, with the cash, and the inaugural belt. Juego Todo, it has the same advocacy of UGB MMA, which is beating up poverty. The main reason for UGB MMA was to help out this underprivileged but skilled Pinoy fighters. Kasi I saw na they compete a lot. There were a lot of competitions going on. And then, pero by the time they get done, they bring home a medal, a small medal. And then, yung bukol nila, yung sugat nila, they don't even have money to buy ice. They go to the competition, they don't even get fed. and they go home with just the bragging rights na, oh yeah, I won. Diba? I won. Okay. So sabi ko, I have to change this. Kasi I have the passion and the belief na I can do something for the people. So all the MMA events na I did, there were, handsome talent fees. Aside from that, there was already a production team. So these guys were already exposed the right way. With that kind of exposure for the fighters, with the handsome TF, okay, and then they were treated right. They were fed. Okay, if anybody gets injured, I have a doctor on site. They get patched up. Okay, they didn't have to worry about, ay wala kaming pambili ng gamot, or napilayan, or kailangan i-cast yung nabali na braso. Those kind of things. Oh, kailangan dalhin sa hospital. No, it wasn't like that for my league. Okay, my league really took care of the fighters. And then I saw the need, okay, for the FMA community. Kasi I saw them na, wow, sabi ko, FMA is so great, but then what do they do? How do they even get any kind of worthy compensation for what they do? Of course, they train as hard as MMA fighters. They also get hit. Siyempre, now this is weaponized, so you're talking about, with our knees, with the sticks and all. Pero, sabi ko, something is missing and they need help. So that's when the same concept of UGB MMA translated into the FMA world. Kasi I saw the FMAers na, sabi ko, FMA is so great. You see it in the Hollywood scenes. Diba? They've also been adopted by the elite forces of the foreign military. Pero if you look here in the motherland, nasan yung mga grandmasters, senior grandmasters? What kind of life do they live? Hand to mouth an existence. And I saw and I have seen it through social media na every now and then there will be posts from the FMA community. Oh, now they are soliciting for abulay. Kasi namatay si master ganito, namatay si grandmaster ganon, and not even enough money para ipalibing. That is fucking sad. I believe that if you are skilled, if you're a skilled individual, there should be no reason for you to die poor. So this part is what really touched me the most and got me the most. Nah, FMA is ours. I got to do something about this. But there were challenges. And the challenges were, just like you mentioned earlier, the purists. Their comments, oh, binabastos ang arnis. Hindi dapat ganyan. Dapat ganito, dapat ganon. So in my mind, okay, whose promotion is this? Is it yours or mine? It's mine. So since it's my promotion, it will be my rules. Because with my promotion, I know where I want to take this. Okay? I knew where I wanted to take this right from the very beginning. And it's the same as UGB MMA's passion and advocacy of beating up poverty. Except for this one, nakafocus siya sa FMAer. Kaya sabi ko, I wanna give my FMAers, put them on a pedestal. Pag FMAer ka, you deserve all this. Kaya nga, for the Grand Championship, the house and lot, the motorcycle, kabuhayan package, the cash, and the belt. Part of the vision is to have scholars. I'm already doing that with UGB right now. Okay? In my own little way, I have scholars who live in an apartment that I pay for. Utilities, tubig, kuryente included. Okay? Food, gear, and training. With Juego Todo, I want to take it a couple notches further or a couple notches higher. Why is that? Because now I want to include educational scholarship. Because right now, the only scholarship I give is fighter scholarship, where they learn how to fight, they get fed, and then they never have to worry about lining themselves up for fights. Kasi the hardest part is, you have all this skill, you have all this energy, pero, oh shit, saan ko ito ilalabas? There will be places for them. There will be one big building where these guys are going to stay, they're going to live there, they're going to train there. With that being said, we have a boot camp. 2 months of training, isolated training, Okay, this boot camp will be fully funded by Juego Todo. The aspirant, he won't have to worry about pamasahe. He won't have to worry about lodging, food, equipment, and training. All of that will be provided. We're gonna get 20 aspirants from all over the country, just like we did in UGB MMA bootcamp. With that being said, all of these guys would have that kind of training, and then eventually out of that 20, after 2 months, we're only gonna pick 5. The top 5, will be the ones to get that free scholarship for the first year. So after 1 year, the top 5 graduated na, di ba? So we have the elite 5, like I call them. Yung top 5 na yon, after 1 year, they get evaluated again. They all do really well. There should be no reason why not. Okay? Then they automatically get a 2-year contract where everything is libre again. Libre pa bahay, libre pagkain, libre training, libre gear, libre aral. What else can you ask for? Let's talk about taking Juego Todo outside the Philippines. I want to challenge the kendo fighter. I want to challenge that wushu fighter. I want to challenge any other martial arts out there that has weapons and match it up with our arnisadors. Because I believe our arnisadors are the bomb. They are the bomb. My ultimate goal with this sport, syempre, pro na. We already achieved what we wanted here, locally. I wanted to get to the Olympics. Kasi, Juego Todo, or Arnis, as everybody knows, Arnis, Kali, Eskrima, it's all over the world already. So what is so hard, and what it's only gonna take a little bit more effort, a little bit more push. Next thing you know, this thing is in the Olympics. Kasi ang dami magagaling. And I believe na, hands down, Pinoys are gonna dominate it because it's our own. Yeah, I heard Vietnam is good, Cambodia is good, Thailand is good, this and that. But who's the best? Pinoy yan. Yan ang tinatawag kong Pinoy pride. Okay, my final words for whoever is watching and doesn't really agree with every word I said. You know, just keep doing what you're doing, you know, just don't worry about me. You know, Juego Todo and UGB MMA will still survive, and I'm just going to keep doing what I do best. You know, what I do best is, if I have a dream, if I have a vision, I will really work hard towards that goal and that vision, and I'm just going to leave everybody else behind. It started with a passion, which became an advocacy. And by the time I'm long gone, this will be my legacy.
Uno. Ito na po yan. There you go. Anong masasabi niyo, UGB?
So that's today's video. I do hope you enjoyed it, and please, by all means, comment below your thoughts. Do you feel that this is potentially the future of Filipino martial arts, or do you see this as some kind of diversion that isn't ideal for FMA? That's what some people say. I am looking forward to your opinions. I do think that healthy discussion about these things, healthy discussion about the different branches FMA might take, is good for the community, so that we could better understand what Filipino martial arts is exactly to each and every one of us. A special shout out, of course, to my Patreon supporters. Your support in creating these videos is always appreciated. And for everyone else who might want to help out and help me produce these videos and get behind the scenes content in return, you can check out the link to my Patreon page in the link below. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.